How many insurance guys does it take to remove an engine?
I'm only watching. Not involved, don't be dirty. I remember the other day when we found out that the engine's the wrong engine for the car.
I'm still holding out hope that it might be a K20 A2. And so
I'm not.
Just try to clean that bit of the engine.
Come with the grinder.
With the grinder.
We are now getting ready to pull the engine out. Now, I pulled one engine out in my life and I put one engine in my life. The rest of us upstairs, I think one of us might have pulled an engine out before. We're not mechanics, but what we're going to do is we're going to pull this engine out. Now, we've been finding a couple of second-hand engines a lot harder than we thought it would be. We're going to drain all the oil, drain all the fluids, take all the front end off, take all the wheels off, things like that. Pull off all the electrical connectors, just get it ready to pull out really. Basically just get to a stage where all we have is just the engine bolted onto the engine mounts and the gearbox mounts. So, without further ado, let's just crack on, I suppose.
So a good place to start is just let's get the headlights off and the bumper off, because we're going to be pulling off the front end here. So we're going to be pulling it kind of like up and out. So let's just do that first, basically. So kind of get the grille off, the bumper off, the headlights and the front crash bar. And then we can talk about draining the fluid, getting the radiator off and just getting everything off the front of the car. And then we're going to have a lot more room to get off the manifold and things like that. The hardest bit of any job is just getting the bloody bumper off. Like, it's just so frustrating. The wheel arches things, all the clips are crap. The bolts we're going through here is absolutely rusted to hell, so there's just no head in it at all anymore. So things that take 30 seconds take half an hour because the bolts like this. There we go, the hardest part of the engine swap is done. So just cracking on again, getting all the front end off. Just straining the coolant now. I say coolant, it looks pretty much just like water. Straining all the coolant out and get the radiator off, and then we can start pulling just the rest of the brackets off here. And then we can start pulling some engine things out. Well, not engine things, but you know, wiring, get the wiring off, get the manifold off. All little bits that will get in the way. Yeah. Okay, so that is all the front end off, the radiator's off, all the bash bars, supports are off. So now we've got a really good view of the engine and everything that we've changed, like done a brand new starter motor, brand new clutch lines. So now we're going to go into the engine, we're just going to start removing everything that can easily come off. So intake, we're going to start removing all the wiring loom as well. So this stage, this is like the intricate bit where you need to remember. So I'm going to take loads of pictures at every stage of my phone. Having them pictures on my phone when I did my S13 was just, it was unbelievably helpful. You might seem obvious now, but when it comes to it and you can start with a whole wiring loom, you'll be thanking yourself that you did. So I'm just about to grab all the wiring loom now. There's a few tricky ones at the back, but the rest of them are just really easy to pull off, and to be fair, really easy to see where they go and come from. I don't really think you'd have much of an issue putting this wiring loom back. It's really actually quite simple. So there is the majority of the wiring loom. So we'll just take it off this one here. And there is our loop. So I'm just going to pull it over and get it out of the way. Okay, so we could get the engine out with the manifold attached, but I think we're going to be using ropes around the engine. So, and how easy it is to remove, because I had it off last week. I'm going to take the manifold off. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the alternator. It might. This is close. I'm going to see how easy it is to remove the alternator, because it might be a good idea just to get that out of the way, because this, I can just see that being a pain hitting there. But this is actually, it's been okay so far. Everything's off. Got all the lines off the side of the engine. We need to get the exhaust manifold off, but again, that's new, so that should come off nice and easy. So it's been okay. So the main mounts, really, you got one here, and one on this side as well. And there's like a couple of like dog bone mount sort of things down the back, but don't look difficult to remove. And we have got a decent amount of space, so we can take this manifold off, see if we can get the alternator off, exhaust, and then we probably will just drain the engine oil, drain the gearbox oil, and then pull the drive shafts off, and then ideally it's ready to go. So just a little bit more bits and bobs. It's been quite nice. It's a nice day. Yeah, it's been alright. So the tensioner pulley is this one here, so we need to get the belt off. There is a way to get the manifold off, and it's to take that stud out, and that stud actually came with the nut the first time I did, but this time it's not. I've tried to put two nuts together, but I just can't get a spanner in there, so we're going to take the alternator off. So that's a 14mm here, so we put this 14mm on there, and you can actually get your 1/2 inch socket in here, and then you can pull that, and then that's releasing the belt. So that is a nice little trick, because the 14mm, it'd be hard to kind of pull it there, you won't get enough leverage. So we're just going to do it, just slip the belt off, and then we can pull out the alternator. Lovely jubbly. But our belt is toast, so we kind of needed to get that off anyway. So here she comes. So we needed to change that anyway, because all the bits here are just absolutely cracked all the way down. It's just not in good condition. Look at that bit there. Whoa. Really not good. 3 bolts. There she goes. So I actually thought that this bit here, stopping the manifold coming off, was unboltable, but it's not. That's like part of the actual block. So I'm gonna have to pull this stud out here, maybe even this one. So I've just found a nut just like this. So we're gonna thread that on. That way we can actually fit the spanner on the one closest to the engine, and just thread the mouth out. That's gonna be the best way to do it. So we've got 2 nuts like that, just tighten them against each other, and then undo the one closest to the manifold, and the whole stud will just screw out. We don't need to take this one off, because if we just get it at the right angle, it does just slide off. So there we go. So I've just found something absolutely amazing. I hope the camera can see it. Can you see that bolt? Can you actually see that bolt in there? Hang on, oh, it's there. What the hell? That is wedged in there. It's not something that I've dropped. That has been there. I can't even get it out with a screwdriver. So the valves have been tapping on that bolt. They must have been. So we're just draining the engine oil and the gearbox oil, so we're getting them both out. And that is the last thing that we need to do, really. It is now ready to come out of the car. We need to get a crane, and we need to get some straps and properly strap it all up and get ready to pull it out. When we pull it out, we are going to be very conscious of something snagging, but I've had a look around and I'm pretty sure it's all ready to go. I lie, it's not ready to come out. I need to take off the drive shafts. So we've got just like a 27mm, not 30mm or something, but we'll have to disconnect the bottom arm just so we can swing it out and knock it through. Getting very close, ladies and gentlemen. So I've basically got all the mounts off, and we've got the crane down here ready to go, and I just have no idea how you get this gearbox mount off. There's way too many bolts. Why is there so many bolts? There's bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there. But the two ones, there's one here and one on the other side, and they're 17mm. You can only fit a spanner on it, and they're just so tight. I've had to use like breaker bars, cheater bars for every single like mount bolt, and I mean, this one is, you've got a load of room to get on it, and we still can't get it off. I have no idea how we're going to get the one around the back. Just absolutely impossible. Because they have to come off, because we've tried everything. We've tried wiggling it around this, you just can't. You can't even drop it low enough to get a socket on there, because it just hits the subframe. It just doesn't make sense. We're really stuck at the minute. I have no idea how I'm going to get around this mount. I have to jack up this side. And we've managed to get these two. We've got the gearbox super low on this side, and now we've managed to get these 2 bolts off. So now we can pull the out.
Can't say which YouTube channel.
I'm flanking it.
Have a look at this. Look, come here.
It would have been.
Look what the guy's done. Grind off the engine number. K20 8. Oh, what's that under there? A 4. That's possibly the best active Ford I've seen in a long time.
How many insurance guys does it take to remove an engine?
I'm only watching. Dog involved, dog is dirty.
Right, here we go. Here it comes.
Have we got a spare seatbelt somewhere?
I think high enough with it.
Can you turn it around in there?
probably have to come up and then over that bit.
Don't get your legs in there, mate. Don't get your legs in there.
Right.
Noise making, I'd rather you said reversing.
And that engine's not going to fall, you'll be alright. It's just going to come out at a funny angle.
It's hooked around too much.
Right.
You're all good.
You filming? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably not the best way to get it, pull it out,
Yeah.
but
So you just stand there and push them on that side.
everyone wants to put my on here. What we're stuck on here.
Is it Ross from Friends? Pivot, pivot.
Like, this is going to lift me off the ground when I get off this.
Nah, it's on the two wheels in front of it.
Higher? Go higher?
Yeah, it's on the two wheels in front of it, so you are level. It's all good.
There you go. There you go.
Jack. It's not Jack. On the wheel of the crane.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Well, let me get in. So this.
Mate, don't get in.
It's now got more horsepower than what it had before.
There we go.
Well done.
It's taken a week.
How do you feel now, Lee?
Quite good actually, doing it in a day. Not even a day, like 5 hours.
That's it.
Now we can get in there and clean the engine out.
To be fair, this is
be a to get back in.
it's probably the best looking CRV engine I've ever seen.
My labelling was going really well all day, and at the end it went to so I'm gonna have to find the box.
Yeah,
I don't know what's where.
there could be a few around here.